What's up guys, it's Nick here and we're back with another episode. Today we're going to be talking all about bioactivity. So if you're new to the channel, if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. While you're at it, hit that bell icon as well. I'm going to be setting up a schedule for my videos. They're probably going to be on Sunday or potentially Fridays, even Wednesdays. So stay tuned for that. Let's check it out. So tip number one, and I think this one is pretty crucial when setting up a vivarium, you want to look at your drainage layer, and it's this right here. It's typically made out of leca balls, clay pellets. This right here is glass stone maybe, but people also use light diffuser. It is a PVC plastic egg crate essentially. But what you want to do with this is you want to make sure that it is deep enough, or it's more than a few inches. Right here it's probably 2, maybe 3, but the big thing with this is it's going to collect water. It's also going to allow for root growth. I've got all sorts of root growth down in here. What happens sometimes is if you overwater it, your substrate can become saturated. What you want to do in order to fix that, you just put a little drainage pipe in there. That way you can suck up some of the water. Another thing is, and this is super important for vivariums, is your substrate. So here I have a mixture of sphagnum moss, milled sphagnum moss, long fiber sphagnum moss, charcoal, organic topsoil, play sand, charcoal, if I didn't mention that already, all sorts of different stuff. I use this for my vivariums, and I also use it to repot all my plants that I buy from stores. Let's get this little guy back in here. And this is Icarus. But that combination, from what I have seen, has allowed awesome plant growth. This enclosure right here is maybe about a year or so old, but if we come down here and take a look at this, this is Athena's old enclosure, and Stitch is now chilling in it. This enclosure is over 3 years old now, and this enclosure is doing phenomenal. So let's check it out with this one. This one has a lot of leaf litter, and that's another huge thing. What's gonna happen is your cleanup crew. For cleanup crew, you've got so many different options. Here we have some isopods. These ones in particular are your Trichoderma tomentosa, also known as dwarf whites. I've got these in 2 of my 3 vivariums. They work subterraneously to eat some of the nutrients, eat some of the decaying stuff. Like before, there was a banana in here and they destroyed it. And these guys are pretty interesting. They reproduce asexually, so they're all clones of each other. It's pretty cool. We've also got some Porcellio scabers. These are the Dalmatian variant. These guys have a really high protein drive, so if you have a larger animal, something like a snake, a tegu, other large lizards, or even large snakes, these guys would be perfect. They love to eat protein. They would absolutely demolish any sort of fecal matter. These guys are another relatively high protein species. These are one of my favorites. These are Porcellio levi's dairy cow. And as you can see here, we do have a camera almost fell. We've got a few hitchhikers here. These are your Porcellio dilatatus, or giant canyon. They are also another relatively large protein eater. But you can also use different stuff like your Mario worms, your super worms, mealworms, blue death feigning beetles. I've also seen and heard of people using roaches, all sorts of different things that'll fit your specific needs for your animal and for your vivarium. You can see little isopods, little cleanup crew scurrying away. What this is going to do, it's going to help break down some of the nutrients. They're also going to help break down some of the poop from the animals like Stitch here. What it's also going to do, it's going to help provide nutrients to the plants, and what you'll have to do is you'll have to add leaf litter on top, just like we have here. It's going to help provide an area for the cleanup crew to hide, that way they don't get eaten by any sort of inhabitant. Another relatively big thing, if you are doing plants, and you don't necessarily have to do plants, but the plants are what make it a vivarium makes it a living ecosystem, is your lighting. Now right now, currently, we are housing 2 Jungle Dawn LEDs. I don't remember the wattage, but we've also got a UVB on these guys. Now UVB isn't a necessity, but definitely the plant grow lights are definitely it's crucial for your plant growth. That way we can get some nice crisp red on this bromeliad here. We get some really nice growth on my croton here. And up here, we can get some nice undergrowth. And people often ask me if you need to change or clean out the substrate. The answer to that is no. The only thing you really have to clean up is the glass, and unfortunately I've been lacking on that a little bit. Looks a little gross. But it is just calcium deposits. The soil is absolutely perfect. Nice and rich soil. Nice and nutrient rich as well as moist for plant growth. As you can see here, she's just loving it. So this is a relatively quick video, but if you guys enjoyed this and if it helped you out, don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a comment down below if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. With that, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.